grandmas confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal.
So this is a story about Central Richmond. But before we talk about the story, let's take a moment for Richmond. All of it. North, South, Central, even Point Richmond. At this point, every corner, okay? Because the entire city is filled with stories. And too many people who should be here are no longer with us. We've lost friends, family, and so much more. Some names we speak, and some names we just speak quietly. But their souls are still here, in the blocks they walked, in the parks they played and laughed in, and the streets where we grew up. Did you know that Atkinson Village in Richmond, California used to be a whites-only neighborhood? Well, if you did, I'm proud of you. And if you didn't, let me tell you. Families of all color, but mostly black people during that time, were literally doing the exact same work as white people. They were sweating in the shipyards, building ships for the war, and still they was denied the chance to call a place home. Now, ain't that funny? Now, some families were able to get some permanent housing. Some houses were built to last a generation, but others were forced to live in tents and barns and even in their cars. Many people lost everything they worked for just because of the color of their skin. These homes were built in 1941 during World War II. It was specifically for housing workers at the nearby shipyards, specifically the Kaiser shipyards. These homes were designed to be permanent, and it was actually very quiet, unlike many of the temporary dorm homes in Richmond that was during that time. It had 450 different units. Under the local housing authority, Atkinson Apartments was listed under whites only. And no, nobody else can get a chance of these homes. Everybody but whites only were excluded. Okay, I made that very clear. Moving on. Now, during that time, the segregation was structured. The housing authority assigned buildings and blocks by race. White people were promised permanent homes and black people were provided temporary homes. We were never meant to be here this long, but we here. After World War II, many of the homes where black and other minorities lived were eventually torn down. My daughter's great-grandmother described it as very quiet when the war ended. She said it was so empty and you could see the houses being torn down. Again, we were never meant to be here this long. That struggle created something that still sticks. A strong sense of ownership and protection of our own neighborhoods and where we're from. People say we're territorial. It's not just pride, it's history. We were assigned these blocks, and yet we will die for these blocks. Do you understand how we were set up? I hope you do. Now, though Richmond has changed, the city did not protect our people. The system literally said, you do not belong here. You don't get stability. You have to fight for everything you got. Something like that teaches us something pretty deep. It told us to survive, to protect what's yours, fiercely and even sometimes violently. Do whatever you gotta do. Generations grow up in neighborhoods where safety and respect were denied. That type of fight becomes a part of us, generation after generation. And when you take that energy to the streets, it can look like turf wars, shootings, and conflicts on every single corner. It's trauma. I'm talking about intergenerational trauma. And if you don't know what that is, let's talk about it. The struggles our ancestors went through didn't just end when the war ended. Trauma can get passed down through generations, almost like it's written in our DNA. I actually wrote a poem on that. It's not even about that, so let me get back to the point. When our grandparents shoved into temporary homes, not permanent homes, treated like they didn't belong, their bodies and their minds learned to fight, protect, survive under stress. That survival instinct, that fear of losing everything, gets passed down to us, to their kids, and to their kids' kids. You see people fighting or people going hard to protect their block. It's not just a choice. It's history. The city walls and maps may be gone now, but the lessons they taught us about protecting what's ours is still alive in our blood. You see it? How we were set up? I pray you understand what I'm talking about. And on the other hand, I did not know that the Atkinson Village Apartments had their own credit union. I was mind blown. I was like, what? This a credit union? And she's like, yeah, come in. And I was like, okay, tell me about it. So this credit union has been open over 60 years. So I did some research. Back when the village was first built and like even decades later, right? Many residents were working class families. So they had limited access of mainstream banking, right? But I was like, you know what? We gonna build a resident-run credit union in the neighborhood to make it easier. Now, she did tell me, okay, she was so sweet. She was like, we don't even charge no monthly service fees. They welcome everyone in Richmond. So yeah, and they do loans. Now, I thought that was crazy. But if you watch the video this long, thank you. And if you have anything to share, please drop it in the comment section below. Thank you.